I was the first to see the prince's tiny body lying cold on the palace floor, eyes wide open, but he wasn't awake. He never woke up again after that day. They said he was just sleeping. But that was a lie. What really happened still haunts me. My name is Juru. I was a palace guard in the old Yoruba kingdom of Ibadan. I wasn't important, just one of the men that stood by the gate. But I saw things I should have never seen. King Adola was a good king. The people loved him. They said his heart was soft like yam after cooking. His wife, Queen Bisola, was kind too. Everyone in the palace respected her. The king called her the wife of my youth, and he never looked at any other woman. But the one thing they didn't have was a child. People talked behind their backs. Some even blamed the queen. His advisor, Chief Sagun, told him to take a second wife. He said it was the only way to get an heir. But the king refused. He said, "Bisola is the wife of my youth. I will not betray her." Even Queen Bisola begged him after some time. I was outside their chambers when I heard her voice through the door. "Take another wife, my king," she said softly. "Let the people stop talking." But he raised his voice. "Ask me for anything, but not that. I am not bringing a third party. You are the wife of my youth." After that day, they didn't talk about it again. Not out loud. Then, like a miracle, 6 years later, Queen Bisola got pregnant. People danced in the streets. Old women said it was the gods finally smiling on the people. Some said the queen must have gone to a powerful babalawo, but nobody questioned it for long. Everyone was just happy. When she gave birth, the whole palace shook with joy. It was a boy. He was named Abayomi, meaning he brought me joy. And truly, he did. The king was the happiest man I had ever seen. His laughter would fill the palace walls. He walked around with the baby in his arms like he was carrying gold. The people loved the child instantly. Drums were beaten all through the week. Even we guards were given extra food and money. But not everyone was happy. The king's younger brother, Prince Sam, said little. I watched him closely because something about his silence made my spirit turn. He always wanted the throne. Everyone knew that. And for many years, it looked like he would get it after the king passed. But now, Abayomi had come. And that ruined everything for Sam. He started moving differently. He stayed late in the palace. He met often with strange men, not the kind we knew. He would nod and whisper and look over his shoulders. Once, I caught him burning something in a small clay pot. He didn't see me. But that night, I dreamt of a snake with Sam's face, wrapping itself around the royal cradle. And that's when I knew. He was watching. And waiting. When the prince turned 5, the entire kingdom gathered to celebrate. There were dancers, acrobats, and even fire-breathers from faraway towns. But something happened that day. It was a small thing, a strange snack. It came in a woven tray with other gifts from visiting noble. But I saw Sam dropping that snack as a gift. A honey-covered cake with crushed nuts. The boy smiled as he took a bite. A few hours later, he collapsed. He stopped moving. He stopped talking. He couldn't even blink. We thought he was dead. But his chest was still rising, very faint. The royal herbalist, Baba Jimi, came quickly. He took one look at the boy and said the words that shook us to our bones. He has been poisoned, but he is not dead. He is in a deep sleep. One only the spirits can understand. And it will take more than herbs to wake him. King Adola nearly tore his clothes in sorrow. Queen Bisola fainted. That same night, I saw the king in the shrine room alone, screaming at the gods. The next morning, the king did something strange. He announced to the kingdom that Prince Abayomi had died. The people mourned. They shaved their heads. They wept and lit lamps for 7 days. But it was a lie. The boy's body was taken through a hidden passage deep into a secret chamber far away from the palace walls. Only 3 people knew the truth: the king, the queen, and me. The king swore us to silence. Let no one know. Let no one come near. He will sleep there until we find a way. Baba Jimmy tried everything. Roots, chants, ancient powder from the forest of Ijebu. Nothing worked. Then, one day, he came with a woman. A woman I had only heard of in whispers. Her name was Sade. People said she had walked barefoot into a burning shrine and came out without a scar. That she had touched the feet of the gods and returned with their voice in her ears. When she entered the chamber, the air changed. I felt it in my bones. She didn't waste time. She examined the boy, touched his chest, closed her eyes, and after what felt like an hour, she spoke. This is no ordinary poison. It was laced with a curse. A deep one. If he does not find true love by his 25th birthday, he will die permanently. I was there when she said it. And I will never forget the look on King Adeola's face. His strength left him. His back bent as he fell to his knees. He wept, and this time, he didn't hide it. How will a sleeping boy find love? He whispered. Sade did not answer. She simply walked out and set up a mat beside the chamber. I will stay, she said. He is not alone. I will watch him. And she did. As the years passed, Prince Abayomi's body grew. His chest grew broader. His hair longer. His face sharper. But still, his eyes never opened. Not even once. All that time, King Adeola grew older. Slower. Weaker. But every year, he still went to the chamber. He would sit by the door and talk to his son as if he was awake. I heard him many times. My son, the joy of my heart. You must wake up. There was a maiden named Nifemi. She lived at the edge of the kingdom, in a small hut with clay pots hanging from the ceiling and herbs drying on ropes. She was gifted her hands could make any sick child well. But the people ignored her. They said she was too small, too quiet, too strange. Some even said she talked to her herbs. But I knew her heart was good. Nifemi always believed the kingdom was hiding something. She'd heard whispers, rumors of a prince who died too suddenly, too quietly. One day, she saw me walking through the bush path near the palace wall, the same hidden way that led to the prince's chamber. She followed me. I didn't hear her. She walked softly like the breeze. I only realized someone was behind me when I opened the chamber door and felt the shift in the air. She gasped when she saw the prince lying there. He was still as stone, eyes closed, body glowing faintly in the candlelight. A carved calabash of sleeping herbs hung over his head, replaced daily by Sade. The air smelled of roots and silence. Nifemi stepped closer, not knowing who he was. I blocked her path, but she pleaded. Please, let me try. I've studied herbs all my life. Something in her voice made me step aside. She knelt beside him and placed her hands gently. She didn't speak at first. Then she began humming. It was soft, almost like a lullaby. She brought out crushed leaves from her waist pouch, mixed with white chalk, and rubbed it on his forehead. Nothing happened. The prince didn't move. She tried again. Another set of herbs. Another prayer. Still, nothing. I saw her eyes fill with tears. She didn't even know his name. But something inside her had already decided she loved him. Then, she did something I didn't expect. Out of pure love and desperation, she leaned forward and planted her lips on his. The moment their lips touched, the flame in the corner of the room flickered violently. The herbs on the wall shook. The air thickened. And then his eyes opened. Not slowly, but like he had just been pulled out of drowning water. He gasped. He looked around wildly, first at the wall, then at me, then at her. Nifemi pulled back in shock, her eyes wide, hand over her mouth. He sat up slowly. His body trembled. He blinked fast like someone waking from a long dream. Nifemi whispered, Who are you? But the prince didn't answer. He looked at his own hands. At his legs. At the stone chamber. Then he looked at her again and said the first thing since his sleep. Why am I big? He had no memory of anything beyond childhood. All he knew was that he slept, and now he was awake. Comment Prince for the continuation of the story. For more stories, subscribe to Tales by Amy.